that maybe you guys have, and I think she testified it had approximately 3,500 in it. Do you think that that's correct?
No, sir, it's probably negative.
It's negative now?
Definitely.
So you don't even have that kind of cash available for a bond, is that right?
No, sir. It might have had influence, but we were paying bills. I mean, it is what it is. People have to eat. People have to pay bills.
Were you guys behind a couple of months on your mortgage at the time you all were arrested?
Going on 3 months, yes, sir.
Where were you when you got arrested?
At my house.
And do you remember what day it was that you got arrested?
Not exactly, sir. No, sir.
It was in January, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. January.
And had you attempted to leave San Antonio in the few weeks that this investigation was ongoing?
No, sir. All I know is San Antonio. All my family's here.
Had you tried to get a passport?
No, sir.
Had you tried to book a flight to Greece?
No, sir.
Had you made any plans whatsoever to leave or abscond from San Antonio?
I have nowhere to go. My family's here.
Ramon, when you were younger, in your 20s, you'd been in a little bit of trouble, correct?
That's correct.
And you had done, on the state side, you had done probation, is that correct?
That is correct.
And you had successfully completed those probations, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
On the federal side, about 24, 25 years ago, you were prosecuted as well?
That's correct.
And did you ever have any violations when you were on supervised release?
No, sir. She actually commended me on doing a very good job. Always showing up on time, paying what I need to pay.
You never fled when you had those cases, did you?
No, sir.
You never tried to run, did you?
No, sir.
And you complied with all the terms that the judges asked you to comply with, is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
Do you have a job?
Yes, sir.
And it's in HVAC, or I'm sorry, you said contracting.
HVAC, you're correct.
Do you intend on going back to work if you can?
It's besides my wife and my child. It's my life. That's all I've ever known.
Judge, I'll pass the witness at this time.
State your witness.
Mr. Preciado, now, there's been some mention of your wife. Is that Mirta Romanos?
That's correct.
And how long have you guys been married?
She would tell you the exact date. I could tell you it's pretty close to 30 years. Not exactly married, but together 30 years. But yes, 30 years.
You guys are married?
Yes, sir, we are.
And what children do you have?
We have Christopher Ray Preciado.
That's your only child?
Judge, may we approach?
Sir. Do y'all have any microphones here in front of the bench? Just the one in front of the witness?
Okay, Mr. Preciado, so you were saying that Christopher is your only child with Ramon, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you have other children as well, correct?
That's correct.
How many other children?
Two.
Two other than Christopher?
Yes.
Okay, what are their ages?
It's hard to remember when you get older. Hold on, give me a second. 30 and 28.
So they're adults.
Yes, sir. They have their own lives. Yes, sir.
Do they live here in San Antonio as well?
The whole family is in San Antonio.
And living with Ms. Romanos, you were living at the residence on Charlie Chan?
That's correct.
Okay, and that's what you're talking about, the house that you guys have. That's the residence you're talking about?
The house she has, yes, sir.
And did she inherit that house, or would you say it was a gift?
That's correct.
So it was inherited?
It was a gift. It's for them. She had to tell you the details. I don't get in her business like that.
And Ms. Romano, she has been unemployed for about 14 years, is that correct?
I would say it's about right. I'm not sure. Again, I don't keep up with that. I mean,
Well, does she work?
no, sir, she doesn't.
Okay. Has it been a long time since she's worked?
It's been a little bit, yes, sir.
Okay. So since you guys started living in this house, has she ever worked while y'all were living in that house?
She wasn't working before that.
Okay. So who was making the monthly mortgage payments on that house?
Her dad would help us.
And he passed away in 2019?
I believe that's correct. You would have to ask her.
Okay. Was he helping you up until that time?
Off and on, yes, sir.
Okay. So after that, who was helping make these mortgage payments?
You're looking at him, sir.
Because you're kind of the breadwinner in the household.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
To the best of my knowledge.
Okay. And about how much is that mortgage payment a month?
It's hard to say because it changes. I think we started with 11. I think now it's up to 18 something.
Okay. And
So I cannot give you exact. I could tell you what's going for right about now.
okay, so somewhere between 1,100 and 1,800 in that neighborhood.
It's 18 right now, 1836 or something.
Okay. And you said you're about 3 months behind on it, to your knowledge.
Can give or take. I have been here almost 2 months, so you know.
Are you aware of any payments that are made towards the mortgage since you've been in the jail?
I think my sister might have tried to make one a payment or something.
And I know you said you weren't sure about the value of the home, but do you have an idea of how much equity you guys have in that house?
I have no idea.
Okay, would it surprise you to know that Mrs. Romanos believed it was about $100,000?
She probably would say something like that, but she doesn't know. She's just guessing. You probably put her on the spot. She probably just said something, some number. She has no idea. She doesn't keep up with that stuff. But if she said 100,000, she's very intelligent. She might have looked it up or something.
Because the house is in her name, so she's kind of the one who deals with that aspect of it.
That's correct.
And if Ms. Romano said that you guys had a vehicle that was worth $12,000, would she be talking about this truck with the mechanical issues that you mentioned earlier?
I think it's the truck that y'all took.
What's that?
The truck that y'all took for evidence.
That's the one you think is worth $12,000?
Give or take, it's of 2014 or 15, so yes, I would say so.
But you think the other truck you guys own is worth about $3,000, I think is what you said.
Unless you put a new engine in and transmission, and you probably could pick it up, but at that point, you'll be, might as well get in a vehicle.
And how much do you think Christopher's vehicle is worth?
Christopher doesn't have a vehicle. They would just lend it, they lent it to him, and it was actually my sister's vehicle.
And that vehicle's been sold now?
I have no idea what's been. I've been in here, sir.
But you've been communicating with your family and speaking with them since your incarceration, right?
That's correct.
You speak to your son and your sister pretty regularly, right?
To the most part.
And in fact, your family's been helping kind of liquidate the assets you guys have in the house, right?
I told him to move some of the personal items out. Yes, sir. The things that meant stuff to us, meaningful stuff. Not nothing expensive, but just stuff that means something to us. You might have something that you have that You love this, you're a child. It might not be worth nothing to anybody else, but it's worth something to us. You know what I'm trying to tell you?
No, I understand. I'm just trying to understand what efforts your family's been taking to sell things for you on your behalf.
Well, I want to say things is just a few little things. They haven't even sold anything yet. I think it's just little stuff they put away. So the house doesn't get robbed. Pretty much have an open target, so every day people are doing crazy stuff around there, breaking windows and anyway, other stuff.
Did you, in fact, your son rented a U-Haul truck and to haul all that stuff out of the house, right?
I didn't, he probably took little stuff that would help him out, yes, sir.
But the idea.
When you say U-Haul, you use the word U-Haul, people think it's a big truck. No, it could have been a little bitty truck that he just took what he needed.
But, I mean, the understanding is that he's selling these things to raise money for you guys, is that correct?
As far as I know, he's gonna try, but he hasn't sold anything yet, sir. He's just trying to put little stuff, people could wonder to break into the house.
And the idea is he's gonna store the stuff somewhere and sell it at a later time? And that's what.
He's is what he says. Who knows? He'll probably be sitting there, 2 or 3 years from now. Kids say something, they do something else. That's just the way it is. But hopefully, one day maybe get a little bit, we have to buy meds. We have to pay bills. Bills have to pay, be done. Poor people, that's how they do things. Poor people sell stuff to buy their meds. Poor people go and sell stuff to buy food, to pay bills. That's how we pay bills. When you don't have no money, when you don't have a regular check coming in. Do you understand that?
Thank you, sir. Your meds are being paid by the citizens of Bexar County right now, right?
They are giving meds, not the ones I need. Yes, sir. You are correct.
We'll talk about that in a little bit, but in terms of what's been going on at your house, the idea is that everything's going to be moved out of this house and sold eventually, correct?
That's not a true statement. Some things are being moved, little things. Yes, sir.
The plan is that house is going to be sold as well, correct?
No, sir. That's also not true. We're deciding what we're going to do with the house. We just don't want it destroyed in the process.
Have you talked to your sister about selling it on Open Door?
I have, and we discussed it, but there's no final saying. It's just the ideas. You want to sit there and starve, or you want to come up with some ideas? We're coming up with ideas.
So, I that's what's been going on in the last 6 or 7 weeks since you've been incarcerated. Is you guys have been actively trying to raise money for your bail.
We have to eat. We have to pay bills. We have to come up with an idea.
Well, your food is being paid for by the jail, correct?
That's a true statement, but again, all food I can't eat. Why do you think I'm sitting here, lost some pounds, feeling sick, shaking, having chest complications? So when you say that, it is a true statement. I am not eating what I'm supposed to, not feeling like the way I'm supposed to, not taking my medication the way I'm supposed to, and not feeling the way I'm supposed to, shaking, having episodes. I wasn't having episodes like that. I've never fallen on my face, head, and hurt my ribs. I have never, ever walked somewhere and not knew where I was.
Just answer the question that I asked you, please, and nothing else, because I'm just trying to.
I apologize.
That's okay. There's just certain things I have to ask you that are relevant to this hearing about bond. It has a lot to do with money that you're raising for your bond, so that's all I'm asking about in terms of that. But so, if I understand correctly, has any amount of money been raised for your